Welcome to our work for week 2 in Technology in the Classroom. And I know that you're working right now on your papers that I assigned for week 1, where that you're looking into the issues related to the products from Google, Microsoft, and Apple as they relate to education in the classroom. Now, be sure that you're looking at things that can answer questions like, this software is not only easy, but it's also dangerous, or this company has been sued because of violations of student privacy. Be sure and look for things like that, because if we use the very best of technology in our classrooms and then wind up having our students lose personal information through the services that we use, then it's not a very good use of technology, nor is it keeping us faithful to our code of ethics that requires that we keep the privacy of our students and that we not endanger them. So be sure you can check into all of those kinds of things as you work through the issues related to Apple products and Microsoft software and services, and then the universe of applications that are being offered by Google. And try to see if you can understand exactly what each of those different companies are doing. How do they make their money with this stuff? And how does that profit incentive motivate them to do or not do things that maybe they should do? So that's all with week 1, and I know you're going to get that done. Here in week 2, we're going to switch our focus to legal issues that surround the use of technology in the classroom. And then starting next week, we'll be getting into some of the technologies themselves. But here in week 2, as you can see in Blackboard here, it talks about what you're going to learn next, and this is all going to do with the things about copyright and trademark, fair use rights, plagiarism, the Teach Act, and then this issue of playing YouTube videos for students in a classroom, or maybe more particularly giving students an assignment to go and watch a YouTube video. Because we all know that when we open up YouTube videos and start playing them, that down along the right-hand side of the browser that we can see little thumbnails of other videos that could be watched. And I remember very clearly once the students were seeing something there on their screen that was not school appropriate. And so I ask you this question to think through how you would go about showing videos to students and not endangering them by exposing them to something they really shouldn't be seeing, considering their age group. So I'm not asking for a research paper on this. You can tackle each one of these questions independently. So you could just copy the question or statement in your Word document, and then right below that, type in your response and be sure to include your citations and footnotes or whatever there. And then copy and paste the next one in, and then type in your comments, what you have found, and just do that for all of these. So it won't be a big, long-running research paper per se, but at the same time, you'll be researching the ideas and giving me your thoughts, your findings from your research. I do want you to use the same web and WVU library resources for searching that you did in week 1. So be thorough in your research for these as well. Then down here you can see the grading requirements that I give you. And I'm really looking for your thoughts and your ideas. I'm not looking for quotations from other people. As the comment over in the little box says, this is something I've been using for a long time, that simply quoting the words of others only demonstrates not much more than the intellectual capacity of a parrot. You should read broadly, you should research deeply, you should think independently, and always write originally. Remember, a teacher, and in this case me, I cannot give you or another student a grade on what somebody else said. I can only assess you on whether or not you understand what it is that you're writing. And so don't quote people unless there is absolutely no way to get around the quote, unless it is such an impactful statement that there's no better way to even summarize it. Otherwise, rather than quoting, you should always summarize what a person said and then just give a citation to where it is that that person said that. Be sure that your citation enables me to go and find the exact place where that thing has been said so that I can assess whether or not you actually understood the person, or maybe you misunderstood. Maybe your summarization is a mischaracterization of what the person said. So be sure that your citations take me to that exact location. I also stress here that the length of what you're going to turn in, I'm not going to tell you that it needs to be 1,500 words or anything. I just say that it needs to be long enough and thorough enough to demonstrate a diligent effort, and that you are making an effort to convince me that you know what you're talking about. And if you can say that in 100 words, or if it takes you 1,000 words, your job is to convince me through your writing skills that you understand these issues that we're talking about. Don't forget that, and the deadline for this is the paper. I'm going to make it due on Wednesday night at midnight of next week. And that way you won't, if you're spending all of this weekend finishing up that paper for week 1, then this won't get too much in the way. But we can't let this extend for 2 weeks more. So let's get it wrapped up by the middle of next week. And as you go through this, be sure that you're working on the peer support forum, supporting one another there, and then you'll use this link at the bottom of the page to turn in your paper. Okay, well, good luck to you. I hope everything goes well for you in week 2.